Difference, 800-710-2650. That's 800-710-2650.
The following program contains mature subject matter. Listener discretion is advised. Montreal's news talk leader, CJAD 800 presents Passion with sex therapist Dr. Laurie Betito. To reach Dr. Laurie, call 514-790-0991. Star Talk, a free call on Bell Mobility, and 800-491-CJAD. Now, here's Dr. Laurie.
Welcome to Passion, a show all about love, sex, and relationships. I'm Dr. Laurie Betito, clinical psychologist and sex therapist. Tonight, our regular monthly feature that we call Dating Dilemmas, and we will focus tonight on the mistakes that singles make. I'm joined, as usual, by Frank Kermit, who is a dating and relationship coach of franktalks.com. He's also the best-selling author of several books on the subject of relationships, dating, singlehood, etc., and he's also a columnist for the West End Times on the subject of relationships. If you have questions, especially if you are single, maybe you're single and can't figure out why. Do you consider yourself a real catch, but you can't seem to attract the right person to you? Do you hate being single? Are you scared of dating? So let's talk about this tonight. 514-790-0991. You can also text your message at 514-800. And tonight, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Sextravaganza event taking place on December 15th. It's a fundraising event to fund sex education programming in schools put on by the Sexual Health Network of Quebec. So that's, mark your calendars, December 15th. It's a great evening of entertainment. I will be there broadcasting live. There will be a sexy burlesque show featuring Velma Candy-Ass, drag queen extraordinaire Rena, performers from Mondose, lots of prizes, giveaways, including a chance to co-host Passion. We'll also have a condom crazy booth. This is an 18-plus event, and all proceeds from ticket sales go to the Sexual Health Network of Quebec to fund sex ed programming. Early bird tickets are only $10 and $15 at the door. If you want tickets, shnq.ca. You can order them online, shnq.ca, or you can go into our draw tonight and have the chance to win a pair of tickets to the big Sextravaganza event taking place at Club Bain Douche on December 15th. Frank, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Laurie. Great to be here.
It's always good to have you. So let's talk about being single, first of all, and maybe defining what we mean so everybody agrees on the terminology.
Okay, for starters, being single means that you are free to meet and date new people. Now, you might already be dating people. Maybe you have some friends with benefits, but you're not in a committed relationship or any sort of relationship dynamic that would prevent you from meeting and dating new people.
Okay.
That's what we're going to use as the term single for tonight.
So really not that you're dating anybody. It's just you're free to date.
You're free to date, and you're still looking for your soulmate or your long-term partner, if that's...
it's not like you're dating and the other person thinks you're in a relationship, but you think you're still single.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't work.
That's not being single. That's just that's being unethical.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go straight to Kayla. Hi, Kayla. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Laurie.
Hi.
Big fan.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for showing up for life. So I can call in.
Of course.
But I'm 45, and I've been married before. I wasn't married that long, only a couple of months, and that ended for very good reasons, which I won't go into. And I've had prior relationships, but never anything long-term. And one of the things that's preventing me from getting out, and I've tried to date again since my marriage broke up, but they want to get too close too soon, too fast, and have benefits. But the thing is, I've got a job to keep. I've got things to do. I don't have, that space in my life to all of a sudden just on the third or second date jump into a sexual relationship. I would like to take it easy. And in my prior marriage, we waited a year until we got married to have relations. And I wouldn't mind I don't think I could do that again because I was jogging a lot by the end of my relationship.
Right.
Turn off the energy. But to wait like several months anyways, before getting involved. And at my age, I'm meeting up with people that have already been married. And I'm not one to shack up either, and I don't believe really in common law. It's just not for me.
Right.
It's wrong.
And that's good. That's your values. That's fine.
Absolutely. And so to get involved in a relationship and to put the brakes on, I mean, everybody, well, the people that I meet anyways that are in my age category that are divorced probably have children already. You know, they don't see anything wrong with getting involved too quick, but for me it just sabotages my life if it's done too quickly, because then you have to make space for that, and I don't really have it at the beginning of a relationship. I have to work up to creating that space.
Right.
You know?
Right. You have to decide if that person is worth your space.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm old-fashioned that way, but it works for me, and I can't see myself getting involved and doing, you know, what the world does in the sense of you know, just getting involved really quick. But what's weird is that you get involved with somebody, to have relations, like let's say it goes quickly, but then they have a family reunion and your relationship is too young for you to meet their family, but yet they're sleeping with you. Like, to me, that's just really weird.
It's a different level of it throws you, early sex throws you into an intimacy that sometimes you're just not ready, you know, to. There's no time to build up to an emotional intimacy before the sexual intimacy. But I wonder if that's, you know, impeding, of course, your chances or not that I say you should be going out and sleeping with whoever. You still have to respect your own values. But I think, Frank, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but people's expectations seem to have changed.
People's expectations have changed, especially as you're getting older. What I'm hearing here is that you have a definite challenge with feeling comfortable getting sexual right away. Most people will have dealt with that earlier in their lives, so that when they reach this point, they're very comfortable with getting sexual sooner. And trying to find a compatible partner for you is going to be challenging.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Well, but I still think it's possible. You just have to find somebody who has similar values.
There is an issue here, though, and she's saying that she doesn't have time for it. And if you really want to meet somebody and have someone in your life, you have to make it a priority, and you have to make the time to allow yourself to get close to someone.
That's a good point, too. Kayla, good luck to you. Appreciate your call. Bye-bye now. Okay. More dating dilemmas here on Passion on CJD 800.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
This is Passion with Dr. Laurie Betito on Montreal's News Talk Leader, CJAD 800.
Dating dilemmas tonight on Passion. Frank Kermit joins me. He's a dating coach. He's a columnist for the West End Times on the subject of relationships, and he's a best-selling author of several books on the subject. We're talking about being single and some of the mistakes that singles may make. Hi, Valerie. Welcome to the program.
Yes,
Hi.
Good evening. It's Valerie. The reason I'm calling, quite frankly, I find there's nothing wrong with being single. Well, perhaps myself, I'm 56. I've been widowed twice. And quite frankly, it's like a new form of my life.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 3 years, I've found myself virtually. I have my grandchildren, friends. And there's nothing wrong with being single.
I totally agree with you. You know what? I am so with you on that.
Yeah.
I think that we do, you know, in our society, make a big deal. What? You're not with anybody? But sometimes, if you're really comfortable with yourself, you don't have those needs. Your intimacy needs are being fulfilled elsewhere by your friends and by, spending time with family and all of that. You may not have that need for that kind of companionship.
But I'll be truthful with you. One thing that I've noticed with my male friends, they have more fear of that than the females do, and this is after the age of 50. I don't.
They have more fear of what? Of being single?
Yes.
Yeah, men generally, it's interesting because if you look at the studies, men who are widowed tend to jump into new relationships way faster than women who are widowed.
Exactly. Well, I've been widowed twice. And quite frankly, I'm having the time of my life. And I enjoy that, and I hope that it does continue as such.
I'm sure it will with that attitude.
Well, you've got to have you have to have a positive attitude for everything.
Yeah, but there may come a time when you decide, well, you know what, companionship might be nice, male companionship, maybe.
Widowed twice.
You don't want to go through that again.
Medical certificate first. All right. So thank you. All right.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Valerie.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I'll bet. Asking for a medical certificate. By the way, all of our callers go into a draw to attend the Sextravaganza event at Club Bain Douche on December 15th. It's a fundraiser to support and fund sex education programming because, as you know, the government's kind of cheap when it comes to that. So we need organizations like the Sexual Health Network of Quebec to promote, advocate for, and and push for sex education programming. It's going to be a fantastic event. I will be there hosting Passion Live, sexy burlesque shows, prizes, performers from Mondosé. And tickets are only $10 or $15 at the door. Go to shnq.ca for information on tickets. So any thoughts on Valerie's situation? What do you think? Is there anything wrong with being single?
There's nothing wrong with being single as long as you're happy being single.
Well, she seems certainly happy.
Yeah, she sounded happy. But the issue is when you are single and you don't want to be.
That's the problem.
That's when it's a problem.
Right.
If you're happy being single, then it's going to be a non-issue. You do have to remember, though, that the people around you may not understand that because they would not be happy being single.
Right.
And they assume that what makes them happy should make you happy, and what makes them miserable would make you miserable.
Right.
So when you're happy being single, and they would feel terrible if they didn't have a relationship, they're going to come up to you and say, I'm so sorry you're single. Is there anything I can do? Well, if
Here, I want to fix you up. Yeah.
There you go. A good friend will do that. If one of your friends wants to fix you up, that's a sign of a good friend.
Right.
It's when your friends don't care if you're miserable being alone and they don't even think to ask.
Right.
That's a lousy friend.
Well, we're talking about single, and yes, you can be single and happy too, but singles also make certain mistakes because there are plenty of singles who don't want to be single. If you're one of those, you can give us a call at 514-790-0991. You can also text us at 514-800. And again, all our callers go into a draw for 2 tickets to attend the big Sextravaganza event, which will be really fun. It's just a party. It's no sex involved, just a big fun party with burlesque dancers and all kinds of performers, which will be really fun. 514-790-0991. You're listening to Passion on CJAD 800.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
This is Passion with Dr. Laurie Bettito on Montreal's News Talk Leader, CJAD 800.
Dating dilemmas tonight on Passion. If you're single, we want to hear from you and some of the mistakes that single people make. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the show. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Hi. What's up?
Pretty good. I'm just calling from Escos, and I had a girlfriend. And I was having what's called a affair with her.
You were having a what?
I was having sex with her.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, it doesn't hit me she didn't feel nothing about it." And she was always drinking all the time. I had to get rid of her. But I'm single. I don't got no girlfriend. I'm single.
Yeah, you're single now.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh, you are happy single.
Very happy.
You prefer to be single than?
Yeah. But people they say that if you like single. Does that mean you're gay or something like that?
No. You can be happy and single. Right, Frank?
You can be happy and single, but you have to remember that the people around you can't always understand that being single can make you happy. So they're just going to start to assume horrible things, like maybe you're not comfortable with your sexual orientation, or maybe you have a past history of abuse, or maybe you had bad relationship experiences. They assume those things because it's the only way they can make sense for themselves why you would be happy being single.
Right. So do you think people will believe Brian if he says, hey, I'm happy this way. I like being single?
People might not understand it.
Right.
And so it's a matter of live and let live, and if people don't understand it, that's their problem.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian, for your call. Appreciate it. And your name is going into the draw as well to attend the big Sextravaganza event where Passion will be broadcasting live. Would love to see you all there. I'd love to meet some of our listeners right there live in person. Plus, you'll have a great time. I promise you. Frank, you'll be there?
I will be there.
All right, great. So we'll have you there. We'll have a sexy burlesque show. We'll have a drag queen. I can't wait to see her. Apparently, she's amazing. She does Cher.
Ooh.
Rena the drag queen. Yeah, I love Cher. So we'll also have performers from Mondose there, and there's going to be giveaways and raffles and a big condom crazy booth too, giving away free condoms. No sex happening in the place. I just want you to know that, because some people are thinking like, what is this Sextravaganza thing? It's not an orgy, is it? No. It's a party to raise funds for sex education. SHNQ.ca. This is Dating Dilemmas. Once a month, Frank Kermit joins me. He is a columnist for the West End Times on relationship issues. He's a relationship coach and dating coach. He is the creator of franktalks.com and the best-selling author of several books on the subject, and my regular guest here every month, and we're always pleased to have him here. So you can talk to him as well. 514-790-0991 about your dating issues. You're listening to Passion on CJAD 800.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me.
This is Passion with Dr. Laurie Bettito on Montreal's news talk leader, CJAD 800.
Tonight on Passion, dating dilemmas, and we're talking about, we always talk about being single, dating, etc., but the mistakes that singles make, and can people be happily single, or are most single people frustrated because they do want to be in a relationship? Are you questioning why you're not in a relationship? What's wrong? Are you doing something that is stopping you from doing this? What are maybe some of the issues? 514-790-0991. All our callers go into a draw for a pair of tickets to attend the Sextravaganza event at Club Bain Douche on December 15th. So mark your calendars. A great evening of entertainment planned. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the show.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I'm calling because I'm frustrated. I've been single since 10 years now.
Okay.
And it's like, is there any guy here in Montreal?
Are you putting out a call? Okay, describe yourself. Let's see if we can find you the guy. I'm just kidding. Tell me what's going on.
See, hot, pretty,
So you're pretty.
Adorable. Love to go out, love to have fun. And I can't find anybody.
Oy. How old are you, Lisa?
I'm 31.
And let's hear your phone number. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't give out your phone. We're not doing that. But let's see if Frank can help you with this. Frank, what questions would you have for Lisa?
Okay, well, let me just start off as a guy, and I'm going to answer exactly the impression I got from you now. When asked, what are you like? What are you looking for? You told me what you look like and that you like to go out and have fun.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really tell me whether or not we can have a relationship. So can you tell me some of your values? Tell me some of the things that you're looking for in another human being.
serious relationship, very genuine, honest. Not somebody who is married and lies and lied and said that he's single. Somebody like that who's has the same character as me. Who wants to go out, who doesn't want to stay at home. It's boring. Just a little quiet time or a movie is great. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, now you still told me about all the distractions and the fun things to do. Yeah. Now, when you said genuine, what do you mean by genuine? Tell me about something. Give me an element of your personal life that you want to share with someone.
Personal life. Can you be more specific? Because I have a lot of ideas running through my head.
Okay, what's a value or a cause that you believe in?
I believe there is love out there. I believe in loving somebody and growing old with that person.
So you believe in commitment?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
What other things unrelated to relationships? I think Frank's trying to get at, let's see what else about you. What other things that you're passionate about, for example?
Sitting down, watching TV, going to the movies, like I said before, restaurants.
Do you volunteer anywhere?
Sorry?
Do you volunteer anywhere?
No, I don't. No, I work in a public area.
Okay. Because everything you've told me so far is so very vague. And
I know,
what I'm looking
but
for...
I mean, it's I don't know, me personally, like I said, looking for somebody just to, grow old with, just to settle down with, just to have the same things that I like in life,
But what Frank's getting at is the things you like in life are on the surface. He's trying to get at what's the deep Lisa about. What does she care about in life? What are her causes? What are the things she's passionate about? And if you don't have an answer, it's okay. But if you don't have an answer, these are things you need to work on. Okay, actually,
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, but Lisa, this might be the mistake. Okay,
yeah,
that you need to be, you need to have things about you that are more in depth, I guess. So that make you also more interesting as a human being.
Oh, okay.
So that's why when Frank asked you, do you volunteer, that might be, find a cause, something that you could back up, that you could go behind, that you might get passionate about, whether it's, animals or look, if you've heard my show, I'm very passionate about sex education. That's something I could talk to you for hours about because I'm passionate about that. Find something you're passionate about that makes you interesting, and you might see a difference there, because otherwise what you're looking for is the surface stuff and you want to get to the depth stuff.
Okay.
One more thing, Lisa.
Yes.
You keep saying how you're looking for someone that likes the things you like.
Yes.
Something that is very attractive is a person that takes an interest in what other people like. So when you're talking to people, rather than say, I want someone who likes the things I like, turn it around. Look at the person that you're interested in and say, what are the things that are important to you? What do you like to do? Let me take an interest in that. That is an attractive quality.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, Lisa?
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I hope we were a wee bit helpful there.
So do I. I mean, this is one of the things that singles do struggle with. They're very, very vague, and they assume that most people understand what it is they mean.
Right.
When I'm coaching a woman, for example, and she says, I want a guy who's confident. Well, give me a specific example. Give me a story. What does confidence mean to you? Because how a guy interprets what confidence is and how another guy is going to interpret what confidence means is going to be very different things.
Right. Well, we got a couple of text messages for Lisa. One of them wants to know if a married guy is okay. Lisa said no married guys, okay? And one from Pat who says we can give Lisa his number. So I'm not sure I want to play matchmaker here tonight, but I don't know. We toyed with the idea of doing some kind of matchmaking thing on air. Maybe we should, reconsider that kind of thing. But it's a little tricky.
It'll be entertaining when the stories come back.
I'm too afraid of that. I'm too afraid of that. All right, I don't know how I'm going to help this person. This is Help, please. I'm a Hasidic father of 7. In other words, a religious, an Orthodox Jew of 7. 7 kids, and my wife wants more kids. I'm done. I don't want to be 60 and still going to PTAs. How do I handle this? I love her dearly. That's a tough one because...
It is a tough one, but first and foremost, you have to be honest with your partner about what it is you want. The second thing you have to look at is, what is it that your wife values about having another child? Is there an emotional fulfillment that she's seeking in having another child that she might be able to find in other ways?
Could be a religious fulfillment too for herself, and part of the religious beliefs of having as many as possible, until she's completely... her shop is closed, by nature.
And if that's the case, then maybe seeking the help of, well, in this case, I believe it would be a rabbi.
Yeah, you can see a rabbi about this. Absolutely. I think you need somebody to mediate this and to talk it through so that you can, she can hear your feelings. And having kids is like there's a lot of investment. It's not just money, it's time. And I can understand, at 60, not wanting to have to start with, from scratch with diapers and I mean, it's years of investment until they go off and be on their own. So
being a parent is more than just a job. It's an entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
As a parent myself, I can tell you that I love my son. I just never anticipated how exhausting being a parent was going to be.
Yeah, imagine being the father of 7.
I can't imagine it. I honestly, at this point, I can't. And kudos to people who have lots of kids and are managing large families. It's a challenge today.
Yeah. And just as a side note story, I have a friend who had 5 kids, and that was a big enough family. And her husband goes, oh, let's have one more. And okay, and she was born to do this, but she said, okay, fine, we'll have number 6. Well, she ended up with number 6 and number 7. So she got twins. So you might, have 7 now, but you may end up with 9.
I remember reading somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the more children you have, the more likely it is that you would have twins.
A multiple pregnancy.
Yeah,
I think I've heard that too. Yeah. So there's that too. You may want to, go and talk with your wife, talk with a rabbi. If that doesn't work, talk with a therapist. Maybe sit down with her obstetrician, but you have to be honest about how you feel. And it has nothing to do with how you feel about her or how you feel about your 7 children or any of that stuff. So she just needs to know that you love her that much. And,
And keep in mind that the older you are, the higher the risks of birth defects.
Even for the males, actually.
Yes.
Even from the sperm of the man.
That's right. A new study came out that shows that it was always thought that, well, even a much older man with a younger woman would be able to produce healthy children. Now it's being discovered that the older the man is,
the more chance also, right?
Yeah.
Of defects and stuff. So there's that element to discuss as well, which you may want to include maybe the obstetrician, her gynecologist obstetrician about it. Thank you very much for writing in. 514-800 is where you can send your text message, or you can give us a call at 514-790-0991. We're talking about being single and the mistakes that some singles make, and maybe you don't realize it, but maybe you're making a mistake, and maybe that's why you've been single for so long. I'll tell you a little story about another single person I know, and I know he's making these mistakes, and but he's, he keeps making them over and over again, and is still single at 50. So sometimes you got to take a good look at yourself and take some chances. So.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
On Montreal's News Talk Leader, CJAD 800.
Date music, Gabe? What kind of dates do you go on?
Romantic ones.
Yeah, right. We should ask Gabe about his dating life. Okay, cut that out. Cut that out. All right, 514-790-0991. We're talking about, it's our dating dilemmas. It's our monthly feature with Frank Kermit of franktalks.com. He's the author of several books on the subject. He's a dating and relationship coach, also a dating and relationship columnist for the West End Times. You can catch his column every single week, right? Every week you talk about something different. And just like here, every month we talk about something new. Tonight, all our callers are going into a draw. Gabe is going to put all your names into a hat, and he will pick out the winner towards the end of the program. So a couple of tickets to the first annual Sextravaganza event at Club Bain Douche on December 15th. I will be broadcasting Passion live. There will be a sexy burlesque show featuring the beautiful, fantastic Velma Candy-Ass. I love her name. Drag queen extraordinaire Rena, who will be doing Cher impersonations, and performers from Monde Osé, who are like big-time performers in the erotic kind of field, do some really wonderful things, and lots of awesome prizes to give away. So you can call in with some of your thoughts on being single. Let's look at some of the typical, I don't know if there can be typical mistakes that singles make. And I suppose, those are the ones who say, well, I've been single for so long. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why I'm single. Like I know a guy, he's 50 and I don't know if he's ever had a long-term relationship. And he keeps like, why? What's wrong with me? And he's a good guy and he's a nice guy, but he's got to be doing something wrong.
Well, let's start off by saying that assuming the person doesn't have any sort of deep-rooted fear of intimacy, where they are willing to actually go out on a date and get into a relationship, but they just can't seem to attract somebody, now we're going to start looking at just simple mistakes that single people make. Now, one of the first mistakes that single people make is that they spend time doing things alone.
Okay.
When I was going through my development, one of my hobbies at the time was genealogy. Researching my family tree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I found it interesting, but the amount of time that I was putting in when I'm a guy in my late 20s, that's time that I should have been out there trying to meet people, trying to go for sex, trying to go for dates, trying to get into a relationship.
Right.
So if you're a single person and you're doing things, playing video games, interacting on websites instead of interacting with real people.
Porn.
That too.
For some.
Start considering that your time is your most precious element. It's a constantly dwindling supply.
Just on that note, I got an email that was so interesting that said, think if somebody said to you, you had $86,327 to spend every day, but you had to spend it. You couldn't save them. And if you didn't use the money, you'd lose the money. And then it goes on a little more, and then it says, well, now replace the dollars to seconds. You have 86,300 and something seconds a day. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do with those? Because you can't ever regain those back.
That's
so
right.
if you keep that in your mind, maybe you'll spend more time out there.
And making better choices as to where you're going to spend that time and who you're going to spend it with.
Okay, so where? I think that's a big question, too, is like, it's not the bar scene. It's not, here's a text message. I'm 25 and I can't find a girl. What do I do? Where do I find them?
Okay, first thing you start doing is you start making a list of your interests. What are things that you like? If you don't have any interests, now's the time to find some.
Okay.
Self-actualization. Get to the heart of what you're passionate about. Find a cause. Find something you believe in. Learn as much as you can about it and go to social groups around those themes. So let's say you're really into gardening. You happen to like gardening, you happen like having to grow your own foods. There are farmers markets. There are associations that you can join up. There are meetup groups where you say, hey, I'm living in this area. I want to find other people in this area who
want an interest.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's where you start meeting people. Rather than think, where can I go to meet girls? You can meet girls everywhere. Start off by thinking...
We're everywhere.
Okay? They're human beings, and there's human beings everywhere you go. If you are a book person and you love to read, well, staying at home alone in the evenings, reading your favorite author, is not a place where you're going to meet people. Go out to the bookstores that have cafes in them. grab a book that you like or hang out in the bookstore and look for people to meet. And if you see somebody you like and they're in a certain type of section, say, hey, what is it about that author that you were looking at before that you like? Or what kind of books are you into? Start a conversation there.
Right.
Figure out what it is you like and what you want, and learn to communicate what you're passionate about. One of the biggest reasons that people who are single stay single is that they turn people off.
Right.
They don't know how to talk to engage another person's emotions. Look at a person's emotional needs. Don't just tell me the surface stuff. Tell me about who you are at the deepest level. Communicate your beliefs and values, because that's how you communicate to other human beings.
Right. And that passion that you can have, or those interests that you have, are important. Absolutely important. You're listening to Passion and Dating Dilemmas, our monthly feature here on CJAD 800.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.